So just heading off from the little village where I live in Wiltshire. I'm heading up to see some friends in Tewkesbury. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to shoot a bit of video and just run through a few more sort of V85TT sort of musings and little things that probably your bikes do as well, that mine does. And we've just had a couple just then when it's kind of like warming up. It's a little bit snatchy, and I should say that the bike is completely standard. It's got a K&N filter fitted, but other than that it's of 2021, because it's just had its first MOT, which it passed straight through. So it's 3 years old. It's an E5 model, and as I say, bog standard other than the K&N filter. So I do find it's a little snatchy when it's, especially when it's cold. It's kind of there all the time. If you try and trickle it through like I am at the moment, a 29 mile an hour speed limit in third gear, it's not particularly happy. But it's not a particularly cold day today though. It's I'm in the UK, it's getting on for sort of mid-November. It's been exceptionally mild actually. Yeah, we're at 8 degrees at the moment, and even that, being that cold, is enough to make it a bit snatchy when it's warm, when the engine's warming up, you know. So the other thing, while we're crawling through this 20 mile an hour limit, is third gear. It really clunks. I'll see if I can pick the noise up. Oh, and typically it didn't do it then. Oh. Maybe it only does it when it's hot. Oh, I'll have to take notice of that. But normally third gear is proper clunk when you change up. Well, it's not something that's particularly bothering me. Let's try again. There you go, clunk. I think it's just a bit maybe slack in the drive chain, but it is weird. It seems to be the only gear that does it, and I'm not sure why. Maybe if there are any Guzzy aficionados watching the channel, they can let us all know why. So we got about a 2-hour ride today. It's just shy of 100 miles, and we're going to be heading up through Warminster up towards Bath. Then we'll pick up the motorway, bit of motorway blast, and then come off at Cheltenham. So it should be a fairly easy ride. I'm not bothering with the sat nav. I'm just going to trust that there isn't any huge traffic jams or queues or roadworks or anything else, and if there are, we should be able to cut through them anyway. But the weather over here, typical English person talking about the weather almost immediately. We've had this sort of, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, this just sort of, it's high pressure, but it's just been dull grey days like this for about, oh I don't know, it feels like the last couple of weeks. But on the plus side, it's been reasonably dry. There's been a few little showers and that, but it hasn't been that cold. So, you know, take the rough with the smooth. So just going around Warminster, and took the opportunity to get the list of 10 things what my Guzzy does. So the third gear clunk, I don't know if that's a thing for everybody, but it is what it is. I've kind of got used to it. Coming from a Japanese bike where the gearbox, you know, there's no denying it, the Guzzy gearbox isn't quite as slick as a normal Jap bike, but it's certainly positive, and it's not the worst gearbox that I've ever used. Harley, cough, anyway. So the next thing on the list It's more noticeable when I've got a pillion on the back. It winds at 45-ish. So I think it's still there when I'm riding solo. I think it's just a feature of the transmission system. It hasn't got any worse, and we got the next service is going to be a major one, so I'll be changing the bevel box oil, transmission oil, engine oil obviously, new plugs, tappets and all that malarkey, and we'll see what it's like after that's done. But you know, I think it is just a feature of the bike. So the next one is the modes. Okay, so I'm prepared to be shot down in flames here, but what's the point? It only needs 2, road, not road. I mean, I need mine in sport all the time, because it runs better, it performs better, and I don't ride it off-road, so it only needs one mode, sport. Let's just negotiate this roundabout. Oh look, there's a rally car. Yeah, so modes. Some people I guess are a fan of them, and when I picked the bike up I did ride it home in rain mode. That's the only time I've used it in rain mode, and it's been in sport mode ever since. Right, centre stand. So when I bought this bike, even though it's a travel model, it didn't have a centre stand fitted. It looked like it had one, so I'm guessing maybe the guy who traded it in kept the centre stand for his next V85, I don't know. But whatever, it didn't have one when I got it. So I didn't buy a genuine Guzzi one, I bought an aftermarket one. It's from a German firm. Fitting the actual stand, dead easy. Getting those springs on, oh my god. Right, just if you're getting a centre stand and you're fitting it yourself, be prepared. You will need very long lever bars, ratchet straps, all sorts of paraphernalia to get the return springs fitted. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Trying to service a bike on a side stand is just a pain. So yeah, centre stand, definitely worth getting one fitted. They're an absolute pain to fit, but anyway, that's it. Another one that's been done to death, and my bike suffered with it, is the pannier pins on the Guzzi panniers that are fitted as supplied on the travel model. They had trouble with the hinge pins sort of vibrating out, and then the lid's getting all floppy. So mine suffered with it. It's an easy fix. You know, a dab of super glue, push the pin back in, or and I've also put a blob from a hot glue gun over the end of the pin to stop them coming out. And so far, touch wood, they've been fine. I have to say, side opening panniers I'm not a huge fan of, but they came with the bike. You can get a lot of luggage in them. They're watertight. They're easy on and off, and they lock to the bike with the ignition key, so you know I'm prepared to put up with the side opening. And just on that note, I got a pair of cheap cargo nets, and I've fitted them in the panniers to stop everything falling out, especially on the left side when it's on the side stand. Sorry, I know I've got a bit of a tickle in my throat this morning. So I got my list up. What else have we got? Side loading panniers, yeah, not great, but they are watertight, and you can get, especially the right hand one, you can get quite a lot in it. Full face helmet fits no problem. Other things, right, good stuff. Brakes, they are, I can't praise the brakes enough. I think of all the bikes I've had, you know, and I appreciate, you know, there's the bikes that I grew up with, like the Z750 that I've got, the brakes on those were, well, okay, is about sums them up. The Brembos on this are absolutely fan-flipping-tastic. Lovely and progressive, they haul you up really quickly. I haven't knowingly had the ABS cut in, I don't think, but yeah, if you need to stop, you stop real quick. And while we're talking brakes, actually, The bike went for its MOT last week, and no pickup of this floating disc problem that some people seem to be getting, where there's too much float in the disc. So touch wood, maybe we're not, oh dear, we're not going to suffer with that. We'll see. Report back next MOT maybe, or keep an eye on them as I'm servicing the bike during the year. Handling, oh right, the handling is superb. I've done about 8,000 miles on the bike since I've had it, and it has not got upset once. Even two up, loaded up with luggage, it's just handled all of it. And I have had to turn the rear spring up a bit first time I took a pillion on the back, but other than that I just left it there, so it's in the same position whether I'm riding solo, panniers on, panniers off, luggaged up, pillion on, doesn't matter. The handling is just excellent, really planted on the road, gives you a lot of confidence, and very neutral. Yeah, really good job there, Guzzy, that was brilliant. Low speed snatchiness, yeah, we talked about that earlier. Yeah, it does it. I'm thinking I might have a look at getting one of these V-twin boost things and seeing if that does actually make any difference. There's a lot of conflicting information on the internet about them. Some people actually swear by them, some think them complete, snake oil. So the only way to really make up your mind is to suck it and see yourself. So I'll have to try and come up with some repeatable tests, once it's fitted. And oh, I love that noise. That induction roar is just brilliant. But yes, sorry, got totally sidetracked there. I'll have to come up with some repeatable tests to see if it actually does make a difference. And then sort of repeat them at 500 miles and 1,000 miles maybe, and see if it is still performing, or whether the programming in the ECU does actually sort of negate the effect of one after a while, because that's the contention, is that the ECU is a learning ECU, and it will actually after a while just sort of negate the effects of having a V-twin boost fitted. But no, we'll see. The ECU relies on signals from the sensor, so if the signal is modified, I don't know. That's why I want to try and do some sort of empirical testing, I think is the word. So anyway, that's something to come. Right, what else we got? Headlights. I think they are brilliant. I've got they're LED, obviously, as they all are, I think. I'm not sure about the E4 model, but I had a CB500X Honda before with the LED headlights. It was a 2018 model, I think. I can't remember for sure, but it had the LED headlights, and they were dire, absolutely awful. The first time I rode it in the night, well, you can't keep up 60 mile an hour on the road at night. It's just, they're awful. So I ended up fitting spotlights to the crash bars, but I haven't felt the need to do that with this at all. The headlight is, you can ride at sane speeds at night with no problem. Day running light is really good as well. Several of my friends have commented on how bright that is, and it makes the bike really noticeable on the road. So yeah, good job there, Guzzy. Some people have complained about the headlights. Not for me. They've been spot on. Yeah, where are we now? Right, heat from the cylinders. Ooh. So reading the Guzzy forums, people who live in warmer climes, shall we say, do complain about the heat coming back off the cylinders. I don't live there. The heat coming back off the cylinders is good, unless it is a really hot summer's day. But certainly riding to work in the mornings when it's been sort of 3 or 4 degrees, getting the heat coming back off those cylinders around your legs, yeah, top job. Don't get it so much with a Jap multi, because literally the cylinders are right in front of your legs on this. So yeah, that's a plus for me, but I could understand how it could be a negative if you were, I don't know, living in somewhere like Miami maybe. Buffeting, yeah, we've talked about that several times. These things, can't praise them enough. If you've got a mate with a 3D printer, you can find them on the internet. I can even put a link in the comments. Get them printed, get them fitted. You do need to replace you need to take a little screw out and replace it with another one, just because you need a screw a bit longer. But other than that, it's, you know, yeah, it's a 5-minute job, and it makes a massive difference. Well, I found it did. So yeah, get them, they're really good. And the other weird thing, oh look, we're up to number 13. So the other thing that I do get a little bit with the Kawasaki, because it's quite an unusual bike at the moment, and it's only getting more and more unusual. There's only about 20 of them left on the road apparently in the whole of the UK. Anyway, that's a whole other story. So yeah, if you buy one of these, get used to people coming up and just talking to you. It's with all the other newish modern bikes that I've had, that didn't happen, but this one, it's a pretty regular occurrence. People will just come up to you and start talking to you about the bike. So you know, be prepared if you're a shy retiring type. This thing is a conversation starter. So other than that's the end of my list that I've come up with. Look, as I've been riding along on the Guzzy and noting things down, and those are the things that have kind of jumped out at me really. I'm sure a few more will occur, you know, as I start running through the servicing and things like that, which I will be doing myself, because A, there's not a Guzzy dealer anywhere near me, and the servicing is relatively simple on this. You know, it's a big air-cooled V-twin engine with screw and lock nut tappets, so dead easy to set yourself. And other than that, it's an oil change and a spark plug change. So, you know, what's not to like about that? Obviously, if there are any injection faults or anything like that, then it will be probably back to the dealer. Although you can read the fault code yourself to a limited fashion, there's not a lot else you can do. And if there's any software updates and things of that nature, then obviously, you know, that's dealer only. Whoop. Flashing lights. Yeah, see, now the bike's warmed up, the snatchiness is virtually gone, and I have to say, riding it in sport mode also helps. Right, so I think we'll close it there until we get onto the motorway, shall we? Yes. There we go. Quick stop to reposition the camera, so hopefully it won't go whoop in the wind. Here we go. Picking up some motorway high speed cruising, so hopefully be where the cruise control comes into its own. Turn the music up a bit. Alright, let's get the cruise control set. And there we go. Look at that. I have to say, this is one of the biggest things on this bike that I thought was going to be a total waste of time. Cruise control, it is absolutely brilliant. Bit of a license saver too, because you can just and just not worry about it, you know. Anyway, we're on the motorway for about an hour, so I'm not going to film too much of it because it's not particularly exciting. So maybe when we get a bit closer to the services and we pull over, we'll go for there. Okay, see you in a bit. So a quick stop at the services because my hands are a bit chilly and I'd like a cup of coffee, and then we'll be on our way again. Righto, that's what we're going to do. Turn left onto the slip road and then onto the M5. All clear. Let's rock on it in the crater. Here we go then. Oh, look at that. Lovely noise. Right, a bit of Queen on the stereo and we're good to go. Look at that. Rocking over roller. So we've not got too much longer on the motorway now. We're only 35 minutes away then. And 20 minutes on the whizway, which I have to say that this thing is just really good for this, certainly at legal speeds. Let's get the cruise control going again. Plugged in, there we go, cruise. So fueled up with a cheese and ham toastie and a cup of coffee, and we're on the way again. Oh, a bit of James Brown on the radio, stereo, headphone speaker things inside the helmet, which I have to say are really good. They're Nolan's own brand that integrates into the helmet with a little controller on the side here, somewhere there. Works really well. You know, on motorway speeds you can still hear the music and directions from the sat-nav. I don't know if the mic's picking that up over the wind noise kind of thing, you know, but yeah, it's perfectly clear, audible, no problem. So we're just heading off after visiting some friends in Cheltenham, and we're going to ride back through the town to the motorway and then head on home. So I thought I don't know if the GoPro is going to pick it up, but we'll see how it does running at night, and you can get some idea what the lights are like on the V85, hopefully. So just coming out of Cheltenham now, going past GCHQ again, the donut, heading towards the motorway, and I'm kind of hoping we're going to come out of the street lights in a minute, and that the GoPro will kind of like show the headlight, maybe, fingers crossed. Quick over the headlight down there, look. And there we go, back on the motorway for quite a long while. So I think I'll cut the camera there, and no idea if this footage is going to be any good as it's dark. Be interesting to see how the GoPro kind of you know, does with operating on headlights.